tension growing between the U.S. and Russia after President Obama approved sanctions against Moscow over alleged election-related hackings. Those sanctions include expelling 35 diplomats from the United States. The diplomats and their families were given 72 hours to leave the country. The Obama administration also ordered the closure of 2 compounds used by Russia, one in Maryland and the other in New York. In response, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recommended that the Kremlin expel 35 U.S. diplomats. But in a surprise move on Friday, Russian President Vladimir Putin said he would not expel anyone from Russia. He said, "We will not create problems for U.S. diplomats. We won't expel anyone. We won't forbid their families and children to use their usual recreation places during the New Year celebration." Putin even invited the children of U.S. diplomats in Russia to Christmas tree shows in the Kremlin. But the Russian embassy isn't playing so nice, tweeting some pretty harsh words toward the Obama administration, calling the president's sanctions against Moscow Cold War deja vu. The tweet went on to say everyone, including the American people, will be glad to see the last of this hapless administration. Those were their words. Perhaps in an effort to undermine the Obama administration, Putin said he would await until Donald Trump's inauguration before taking any action. And Trump continues to say it's time to move on. He issued this statement saying, "It's time for our country to move on to bigger and better things. Nevertheless, in the interest of our country and its great people, I will meet with leaders of the intelligence community next week in order to be updated on the facts of the situation." President-elect Trump's future White House advisor, Kellyanne Conway, accuses Obama of playing politics.
Even those who are sympathetic to President Obama on most issues are saying that part of the reason he did this today was to, quote, box in President-elect Trump. That would be very unfortunate if that were if politics were the motivating factor here, but we can't help but think that that's often true. Even the New York Times characterized it as such, that this may be an attempt to box him in to see what he'll do as president.
Conway also refusing to say whether Trump will reverse those sanctions. Conway's accusations may put her at odds with Republicans on Capitol Hill, many of whom have come out in support of Obama sanctions against Moscow. Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham issued a joint statement Thursday announcing their intention to, quote, lead the effort in the new Congress to impose stronger sanctions on Russia. On a similar note, House Speaker Paul Ryan said that while the action by the administration is overdue, it is an appropriate way to end 8 years of failed policy with Russia. His counterpart in the Senate, Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, said the sanctions were a good initial step, however late in coming. A sentiment shared by many wonder why Obama waited until now to impose those sanctions. The CIA has been the most outspoken about the alleged hacks. They say Russia did interfere in the election and that Moscow intended to manipulate the election with the intent of backing President-elect Trump. Yet the CIA and entire intel community has yet to come forward with any evidence. The agencies say it's too dangerous to reveal their sources and methods, but somehow that very information has been leaked to outlets like the Washington Post. On Thursday, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security released a joint report detailing how federal investigators linked the Russian government to hacks of the Democratic Party organizations. But security experts say that the document doesn't provide sufficient forensic proof to confirm the Russian government's role. And WikiLeaks also pointed out the report's gaping holes and pointed out that the report itself did not mention WikiLeaks, which was the main source of hacked emails released during the presidential campaign. The tweet said, "Note that the hacking report doesn't mention WikiLeaks and has the following disclaimer that reads, 'This report is as is for informational purposes only. DHS does not provide any warranties of any kind regarding any information contained within.'" It should be noted that this is not the comprehensive report that Obama will receive from the CIA before he leaves office. President-elect Trump has agreed he will meet with intelligence briefers next week.